Welcome to the Colorado Rockies, another Mercy Moment Emory episode, and I'm so fired up you decided to join me for just a few minutes and talk about a very important subject, and that is waiting. Today's episode is titled, Friends, Good Things Come to Those Who Wait, Waiting Well. Whether we like it or not, a lot of our lifetime is spent waiting. Matter of fact, did you know research shows the average person, if you start driving when you're 15, by the time you hit 65, over the course of 50 years, you've waited 2,930 hours at stoplights. If that statistic isn't staggering, I don't know what could be. That's a lot of time just waiting at stoplights. If we think about it, how many hours or days or weeks are spent in the course of a lifetime waiting in a doctor's room, waiting at the emergency room, waiting for your turn at the post office, if you're mailing letters anymore, or mailing things. But think about it, how much of our lifetime is spent waiting? I would say a pretty staggering amount of hours, days, weeks, and even years are spent in a time frame called waiting. And in the journey of life, friends, I've had different waiting periods, different waiting rooms per se, and one of those has been waiting to heal after the journey I went on in 2020 to present, after intentionally pushing in and intentionally pursuing healing, pursuing health, pursuing to become better through adversity. I'm amazed at what God has done. And the Bible talks a lot about waiting itself. In Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31, it says that those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength, that they will rise up on wings like eagles. They will walk and not grow faint. They will run and not grow weary. David also chimes in on the subject of waiting, and he says this in the Psalms: wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Yes, wait for the Lord. Waiting is important, but waiting well is essential to the best possible outcome. And I believe waiting well entails waiting with expectation, waiting with a heart to grow, and waiting with patience. I believe those three things are critical to waiting well. So, first of all, waiting with expectation. It's easy to get lost in the time frame of the waiting. It can feel like it drags out. It becomes something just overwhelming because it's a long period, especially if you're waiting for something you deeply desire. It can become a long, drawn-out period. But the key is not losing sight of expectation, that God gives good things to those who wait on Him to act, who wait on Him to bring the right gift into place. I've experienced this with my one and only beautiful wife, Anna. We both were in waiting periods right before we met. We were both healing, we were both growing and going through some difficult situations. And the key thing is, both of us submitted to God in the waiting. Both of us the same night said, God, we wait for your best. We're not going to try and make things happen, but we're going to look to you to be the giver of every good and perfect thing, including someone to love, a spouse to walk with. And in that time frame, as we surrendered, as we gave our expectations to God and set them on Him, He brought both of us into each other's lives. It's remarkable. It blows my mind. So be encouraged. If you're waiting for something that you absolutely are so determined to have, if it's a relationship, if it's a promotion with your job, if it is to have a child, whatever it may be, wait with expectations centered on God Himself. God, I give you my expectations, and I know you give good things to those who look to you, so I look to you. Wait with expectation upon the Father, friends. Secondly, when we're waiting, it is hard. Waiting is hard. We're very impatient in our world today. I know I can get impatient, but a lot of our time will be spent in this period. So waiting well entails waiting waiting with a heart to grow. Growth is key. I believe this with my whole heart, friends. Waiting, instead of just being stagnant, doing nothing, waiting, in that waiting, developing and growing and pursuing to become better. I believe this is essential to waiting well to have the best possible outcome in that period. So intentionally growing looks like reading God's word, putting it deep in your heart, spending time with him in prayer, intentionally reading a book on the subject you're waiting for. If you want to become a husband, read a book about becoming a husband. If you want to be married, read a book about marriage. You want to become a wife, read about it. If you want to become a parent, how about read a solid book that's going to help equip you? I found as I develop myself, the waiting period takes on a whole new meaning, and there's purpose in the process. So intentionally growing is critical, absolutely critical. And in the waiting, friends, God does wonderful things. He is amazing in the way that he works. So take heart in the journey as you wait. May he strengthen you as you set your expectation on him, as you intentionally grow, and be encouraged. He does wonderful things in the waiting, and he is worthy of our trust in that waiting, no matter if it's for a good thing to happen, if it's for a bad thing to pass, or it's just waiting, not knowing the future. As the quote says, entrust an unknown future to a known God. Until next time, friends, onwards and upwards with grace and grit.